Welcome to Prime Testimony Channel. I am your regular host, Ato Brent Eshan. Tonight, it's another exciting time because we are going to look at the hills and valleys in long-distance relationships. Some people say it's good. Others say there are challenges. By the time we will leave here, we will know. With me here to do this topic are two handsome gentlemen and two beautiful ladies. And from my extreme left, they will do self-introduction.
Okay, so this is Dennis Owusu, a peer counselor.
Thank you.
And I'm Rekia, a sociologist. My name is Gift Pupia Boy. I'm a public health manager.
And I'm Frank Owusu, accountant.
All right. Welcome, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you very much.
We are looking at long-distance relationships. We are looking at it holistically, being it married couples living apart or unmarried couples who are dating, living apart. So, long-distance relationship, how easy is it? Dennis?
This is a very interesting topic that we are deliberating on. Long-distance relationship basically is relationships that are geographically apart. And ideally, in ideal situations, I'm not sure most people want to wish for a long-distance relationship. So to me, with a start, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
So,
all right. Okay. What do you think, friends?
Oh, okay. With what my brother just said, I think I would beg to differ because others are enjoying it. Okay, I have some friends who are dating because we're not only talking about married couples.
Yep.
We are talking about those who are also dating. I have friends who are dating and then they feel the long distance is what is sustaining their relationship. So yeah, it might be hard, but then others too are enjoying the good aspect of it.
All right. Okay. What's your general
I
impression?
don't agree with him.
Okay.
I mean, relationship as it is, it goes way more beyond just talking. And sometimes you need the comfort of the person. So if I need you then and now, and you are not there, your attention could be channeled to someone else who is available there. And that is when the gap starts, and it usually doesn't end well. I don't think it's the best.
Okay. All right. Frank, what do you think?
Long distance relationship. Yes, that is interesting indeed. I also think that long distance relationship in itself is not bad. Yes, as my sister Rekia said, it depends on the context within which that relationship falls. Yes, so let's say in marriage, once you are married, it may happen that you've stayed together before and then due to circumstances, one has to go somewhere. If that happens, it is not easy. It is not easy because we've been together before and now one is no more. So the thing that the other person was doing for the other is no more. So in the context of marriage, long distance relationship is difficult. It's difficult to maintain. But when it comes to let's say in a normal relationship, that's dating. Thank you. When it comes to dating, depending on what the two of you are looking for, yes, it will be good or bad. If your relationship is not what you are thinking about, you are planning to marry, or maybe you are thinking that it will lead to marriage, that one, when it's long distance, is good because you don't see yourselves often. So anytime you meet, you try to please one another. So when you meet, it's like a fresh sample.
Okay. All right. You are listening to Prime Testimony Channel. We are discussing the hills and valleys in long distance relationships. I mean, from the initial point that you have raised, you can see that there are good merits and demerits in long distance relationships. We are going to look at the demerits. I'm talking about the challenges. So let's all narrow down to the challenges. Let us enumerate them and we will explain them. Then after that, we will look at whether there are any positive at all, as you know, some of us are alluding to. So what could be, or what can be some of the challenges in long distance relationships? Anyway, all right. Okay, give it.
When communication fails in long distance relationship, then it's almost brings the relationship to a halt. Because right now, when the person is around you, you see the person, you get to know the person's in and out. Then all of a sudden, you rely on the person communicating to know whether what he or she is saying is true or not. And then when you go, you don't get through to the person. The person is not responding to you the way you like. And then trust issues start degrading. But if you are there with the person, sometimes you barely even communicate as much as when you are not there with the person. And I think it's one of the challenges.
All right, thank you very much, Gifty. Okay.
Okay, I would also say one of the challenges would be basically the reason why we come together as a man and a woman is because we want companionship. So with a long distance relationship, one of the disadvantages would be say there's that break of companionship. My sister Gifty said it when she started with her opening statement that you need the person to be around at a particular time, but then if the person is not there, and because the person is not there, you might begin to transfer your affection to another person who is close by. So I think there's a break in companionship.
All right. You mentioned at a particular time. Is that a particular, like, is it during rainy season or winter time?
Anytime, anytime.
Okay. That's beautiful. Yeah, Dennis, can you add up to?
I'm glad to long distance relationship can be boring.
Can be boring. The way you were speaking, it looks as if you have some serious experience. Please, bring it out.
Guys, long distance relationship can be very, very boring.
I'm telling you, I'm sure somebody is suffering somewhere,
Exactly.
and the church shall say amen.
Amen.
Please, let's go.
You got to see, you have to really strategize communication.
Yeah.
You have to really strategize your phone calls. In fact, I find myself in a long distance relationship, and sometimes before I would even pick a phone and call, I have to make a draft. Sometimes I have to plan the conversation to be able to sustain the chat.
So that it doesn't get
So
boring.
it doesn't get boring.
It's interesting.
And so it could be very boring. You know, sometimes you could be hanging out on the phone with a person and you realize that comments are finished. You don't know what to say again, and the lady is not ready to leave the phone, and sometimes you'll be like, oh, and the cat in there, you cut the line. That one alone could take you like 40 minutes. And so it's a point I really personally have experienced when it comes to long distance relationship. So let me just end here.
All right, about this loss of words, it reminds me so many years back. Our time, we used to write letters, there wasn't email initially, and those times you write some sweet words like, the brightness of this day has given opportunity to pen you this piece. And you are listening to Prime Testimony Channel. If you want to hear some of these words, there's a video called High School Love Letters. Some of these funny stories and some of these funny words are there. You can refer to that video. Let's hear our brother Frank some of the challenges.
Yes, as my brother rightly said, I also happen to experience long distance relationship. Mine is in marriage.
Okay.
Yes, I've been married for over 10 years now. Okay. Yes, so as I said in my earlier submission, that sometimes it will happen that you stay with your wife, or let me say your wife.
Yeah.
You stay with her for some time, and then due to circumstances, you are now apart. Yes, so with mine, we stayed together, and then it was necessary my wife leaves. Yes, so I was somewhere, she was somewhere. And this, when it comes to communication, as my brother rightly said, communication becomes very, very difficult to handle in long distance relationship, especially when there is an issue of trust. Yes, when there is an issue of trust, especially most of the times we the men, our women find it difficult to trust when they are not close. Yes, so.
And it's founded. It's founded. I mean, even when you are there, the person is going astray.
That is what they say.
I see.
Yeah, that is what they always say.
I see.
Always say. So when there is an issue of trust, it becomes difficult, especially when there is a call and then you are not around to pick up the call at that time. At time she is expecting you to answer a call, and then maybe that time your phone is left alone, you are somewhere. Then it's like, what is he doing?
Yeah.
You see, with someone that he doesn't want the person to know the wife is calling, or so many things. So by the time you come back and pick your phone and call back, it's fight. So maybe you are just doing something genuine, yes. But to convince the person that no, I was just attending to something else. It's difficult. So I wouldn't advise. If not circumstances beyond your control, yes, I would never advise long distance relationship.
Like,
not to cut you.
All right,
But
go
to
ahead.
add, Frank is married for 10 years.
Yes.
He has been in that training. So I was expecting him to also talk about the sexual frustration.
Yes.
Because of
Yes.
the physical intimacy.
It's true.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
Because
Frank is a bit shy.
He's a shy. But he does that too. He does that too. Oh, bless you, brother. Bless you, brother. Maybe after this video, I'll catch you at the back and interview you private. That one, welcome. All right.
Because per study and per interviews, there's a lot of sexual frustrations when it comes to long distance relationship, marriages, like that. A lot of sexual frustration. Especially those of us that we've not been there, and so we are there.
Yeah, it is true.
But those who have been there and now there is a distance between them, I mean, that's sexual frustrations.
I understand even some of the married people, by the time their spouse will come back across, they don't even know how to do it. And I'm really feeling forgotten. I don't know. You say he doesn't agree with me. You are listening to Brian Testimony Channel. Friends, like we told you earlier, we are looking at the hills and valleys in long distance relationships. I want us to look at something, some emerging trend. Nude videos that married couples, and even sometimes some of them who are also not married, that exchange. Sometimes they say that, okay, my spouse or my fiance or fiancé is working somewhere, and because I miss him or her, maybe I have to exchange these nude videos, especially for those who are married. People try to justify that we are married, so there's nothing wrong with it. What's your impression about exchanging nude videos?
Dangerous.
Yeah. How dangerous is it?
You see, mostly we get issues like we're trying to spice up our marital life, we're trying to spice up our relationship. But in as much as you want to spice up a relationship with nudity, number one, we are talking about social media security here, we are talking about online security here. And you have no idea who is behind your husband's phone. And you have no idea the time that your husband's phone may spoil, or the time that you yourself, your phone may spoil. And most of these pictures now are stored in the clouds because of Google. So now they are stored in the clouds. And so it is very, very, very not safe for a wife or a husband to play around nudity. What is the essence? Is this to stimulate? When you intend to stimulate, the partner is not around you. So how do you have that sexual life? So obviously it doesn't help. And what normally results with this is that they tend to, have sexual gratification of themselves, which can lead to other adverse effects, or the other party may tend to nurture the lust in them, which in the absence of the partner, which you should learn endurance, you may tend to also have defile the marital bed. So I really don't agree, partners.
All right. Yeah, that's the view of the counselor. Let's hear the view from other members.
You are talking because you are not in. You are not there. Someone's relationship is either that or the relationship is going to collapse. Now, maybe I've been in a relationship with my partner for 3 years. Maybe he's outside. He sends me money, he sends me everything. And he demands of me, and I tell him I will not give it. And he says it's either that or the relationship ends. We are not just talking about not knowing what is right and what is safe. We know that. We know it's not right, we know it's not safe. But when it comes to love, those things don't really come into play. What are you talking about? It's not safe. But what is safe? Everything is risky in this world.
Oh, I see. So, love, I said, but I missed that.
Yes. But, Master, some of us will take it, some of us will not take it. But at the end of the day, whatever decision you should take, your partner must be in agreement with it. He knows in sending it, it can happen that it will happen outside one day. So if it happens, will he stand by you? Are you going to be okay? People will know your nakedness. We don't accept that here. Will you be okay with yourself? So when your partner, like I said, there's communication. Communicate. If you think it works for you, find ways and means. Some people do it and they find ways and means to close it. If it's marriage and your husband is satisfied by that, are you going to say no? And he will threaten you, I'm going to go out then and maybe watch someone do it all. So it depends on what works for you. But if it's not working for you, please don't try it.
So the consequences, have you also considered the consequences? I mean, the two people involved, don't you think they must also look at the consequences? Should it happen? That maybe like a conference like this, you see, we are going to show them by mistake, somebody shows something and then the whole show. What do you think about the possible consequences?
Well,
of course, I mean, she's not speaking for herself alone, she's speaking like for other people also, look at it the same way. So
I myself, my partner would never ask me to do
that.
Like that. He thinks it's wrong. He doesn't want it. He thinks he is thinking about what outsiders will see. He thinks he's just watching it. What is he going to gain? At the end of the day, when someone sees it, he'll be disgraced that his wife or his partner's pictures are outside. That is him.
All right.
But I think if maybe he wanted it and we were married, and I wanted it too, we'll do it in the same way. I'll send it to you. You said we are clouds, but people delete pictures permanently. I mean, people who cheat make sure. I called you, I've deleted it. I've gone to my messages to delete. You cover your tracks, so you know the information you are sending is delicate. Cover your tracks.
All right, but don't you think the cloud when it falls, it will bring it? That's just by the way. Yes, let's hear you and the radio.
I don't agree with my sister Gifty. Yes, I want to ask a question. You see, ladies, these are some of the mistakes ladies make, and then at the end of the day, they find themselves at the losing side. If your guy, or let me say your partner, for that matter, is elsewhere, and then ask for those nude videos of yours or pictures, and it's like it's either you do it or I find someone else to do it for me. Have you asked yourself, what if he needs it in a day that I don't have, or maybe I have challenge with my internet, or something happens with my phone and I can't do it for him? What happens? Does it mean that that day he has to go out and look for somebody else? You see, and then one also, when it comes to posting things on the internet. There is this thing that I've learned about the internet, that there is nothing like delete on the internet. There is nothing like delete. Maybe your knowledge in
IT.
IT, based on your knowledge in IT, you may think that, oh,
You have deleted
yes,
it.
I've corrected myself.
But
somebody somewhere
yeah. All right.
will be able to retrieve it someday.
All right.
And then use it.
All right. Thanks for sharing. Let's hear it right here.
So I also side with my brothers. I don't think it's a good idea because we've been hearing a lot of sex tapes
Yeah.
and floating the social media, and the people say they don't even know how
It
they
got
got
there.
out there.
And yet still it keeps on going.
Yes.
Yeah.
So meaning maybe they shared it with just maybe their partner or their husbands, and now the whole world is seeing it. So to me, when a partner says this is what I want, and the other person says no, I don't think in gift was saying don't be traits. I don't think the person should be threatening the other partner that if you don't do it for me, that. Okay, if I don't do it for you, do this. I also do that. What are we coming up with? We are breaking the relationship. So I think there should be understanding.
Okay, you are breaking the relationship, and I think there should be understanding. You are listening to Prime Testimony Channel. Catch us in part 2. I'm Ato Brentishan, and this is Prime Testimony Channel.